What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. I appreciate you being here. This is just me over here making these videos, so I appreciate you guys coming here, watching these videos, and engaging with the content that I make. You guys can probably see the notes I'm flinging around when I talk with my hands, because I just talk with my hands. Those of you who have watched my content before know sometimes I like to have notes. I try to memorize everything as much as I can, but I really like this unedited, free-flowing conversation vibe, no matter what the topic is. So sometimes that just means I gotta have notes written down so I can just, glance at them real quick and I can keep the conversational tone going. I just don't want to miss anything, so sometimes I just write notes down so we can kind of keep the energy flowing, you know what I mean? So without that, let's get into this. Now, I want you to think about whatever your go-to social media platform is, whether it's X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it might be. It could be Truth Social and MySpace. You've inevitably seen it. You've seen the Olympian who is celebrating a medal at the Olympics just happened to stick her tongue out. She gets called goon bait. The UFC fighter who twerks in celebration, who just was in a fight, who the people who are criticizing her, most of those people would never have the balls to step into the cage in the first place, gets called goon bait. Regular everyday people, it's a Friday Saturday night, she goes out onto the town with her friends, she wants to have a good time, she has a couple of drinks, she's dancing, and someone inevitably uploads a video of this lady dancing in a club somewhere. She gets called goon bait. Anything that doesn't fall into that 1950s trad wife handbook, anything you can't pull out of it, is inevitably called goon bait by these anti-pornography crusaders. And that's not even talking about the women that step into any sort of adult content related field, whether it's just like more uploading beach and lingerie style shoots, to the softcore and the hardcore side of it, whatever they do. And then whenever they try to share their opinion of something outside of the content space, they'll inevitably get hit with the following quote: OF detected, opinion rejected. Basically stating, because you've done this, your opinion is no longer valid. It's ridiculous. And what am I getting at here? What's the thesis on this college essay that I'm writing here? It's this: industries don't hurt people. People hurt people. Now, I'm not saying that to say that no one has ever gotten hurt in the adult space, because it's obviously happened. And anyone that gets hurt, whether it's coercion, threats, slavery, whatever it might be, that needs to be abolished, that needs to be fought hard, because that has no space in consensual adult activity. But what I'm also getting at here is this: that sort of hurting people is not exclusive to the adult space. It's exclusive to people because people hurt people. Let me give you some examples. We all know about the Catholic Church, right? And their history of abuse, sheltering priests and moving them around that hurt people, lawsuits, hush money payments, all of that. We know about Hollywood, directors and producers and people like that taking advantage of people with dreams to use them for their own ends, whether it be pleasure or paying them less money, abusing them, whatever it might be. And we can keep going down the list to other institutions like sports teams and schools and teachers that abuse their students. And even outside of just those few institutions, we can go to the individual who isn't a part of an institution that hurt people, like Joseph D'Angelo, who is a cop who became the Golden State Killer. We can talk about Diane Downs, a mother who shot and murdered her own children. We can talk about Fred and Rose West, just your regular everyday British couple who were hurting and murdering people, including their own daughter. What I'm saying is this: no matter what walk of life people can be from, whether it's the Hollywood director, whether it's the Catholic Church, whatever it may be, or whether you're just a regular everyday person or couple, people hurt people. And then when they get into those spaces, whether it's the church or whether it's the entertainment industry, they will hurt people regardless of their station in life, not because of where they are. So what what's the next thing I'm getting at here? I'm just glancing at my notes again. Why are they so focused on pornography when all of this other abuse is happening and they're silent on it? I have a few opinions on that, and I think these are the top reasons why most of them do this. The first reason I want to mention is that religious reason. It's you've been taught this thing is evil. This thing needs to be eradicated from the earth. Whether even if you're not religious, you can still be taught that something is evil and wrong outside of going to a church or a synagogue or a mosque or whatever religion that you're a part of. You can still be taught that something is evil and wrong and bad and not good for people, so that then as you grow up, as you start either making content or saying things or developing your own opinions, you get taught this thing is bad, there's nothing good within this thing at all, this thing needs to be eradicated like a disease. The next thing is the shame, which is kind of ties into the religious bit as well, but you can still experience that shame and that all of that stuff outside of that. The shame, the self-loathing, the hatred of, I can't handle watching this. I can't handle consensual adult activity. Therefore, you can't take it at all. It's like an alcoholic saying, I can't drink at all. I turn into a raging monster when I drink, so no one should be allowed to drink. I can't handle it, so you can't enjoy it either. You can't enjoy it. You people who are enjoying this thing responsibly aren't allowed to do it because I can't do it. I think the biggest reason is most of these people are just doing it for clicks. They don't care about the abuse that they say that they care about. They don't care about the coercion. They don't care about people. They're doing it for clicks because nothing generates clicks like a good moral panic, whether it's people talking about the satanic panic or talking about moral societal decay or whatever the hell they're talking about. Nothing creates clicks and generates income from people watching their videos like a good moral panic. Now, I know what you guys are saying. You're probably getting ready to say this and comment on it. This is just another angry atheist ranting online about whatever he might be talking about. But that's not the case. So let me share my personal story in connection with this as to why this hits so deep with me, as to why I felt the need to finally talk about this. I grew up in church. I went to Catholic church from about my youth to about 6th or 7th grade. Then after that, I went to a non-denominational church until my mid-20s when I left the church. I think I was like 24 or 25. I'd have to really think about it, but you guys know what I'm getting at. So I spent all my life in church. I spent all my life hearing that my innate desires to want to see beautiful women and want to see that even within a consensual context outside of what they viewed as good was evil. Not just doing it is evil, even thinking about it is evil, that it's shameful, that it's wrong, that it's hurtful, that none of it's good. So I had the fear of, oh my God, I'm a terrible person because I have these desires. And even when I'm not acting on these desires, they're still wrong. So I'm still a terrible person. The shame of when I acted out on those evil desires, saying, oh my God, I'm a terrible person, I just did that. And all of the self-loathing that comes from all of that stuff that I was watching didn't teach me. I was getting taught by the people saying that stuff was bad. I wasn't getting taught that by the content in the industry. I was getting taught that by the people who were saying the bad stuff's over there, so don't go over there. And this even goes a step further. Maybe it's just me, maybe I just went to a weirdo ass church, but I vividly remember walking in the church one day. They had a video they played before our youth service, which was on Wednesday nights. Remember, you guys probably remember this, the interview that Ted Bundy gave on the night before his execution, when he blames pornography for his actions, trying to say anything he can to save his life and give another stay of execution, which doesn't work, and Ted Bundy deserved to die. Well, they played that interview when he blames pornography and straight up said to us, room full of kids, that if you continue down this path of what they were calling the sexual immorality, you can become Ted Bundy. You might not be guaranteed to become a Ted Bundy, but you are setting yourself down the path of seeing people as objects and using people, and you could potentially become a Ted Bundy. Now, I was never on the path to becoming Ted Bundy. None of my friends ever were. I never knew anyone that ever got close to that. But imagine how much that can fuck up a kid psychologically when you're telling him that not just his innate desires are wrong, that he could become one of the worst people to ever live if he continues to do this. It's wrong, it's messed up, it shouldn't be allowed. And all the fear, the shame, the self-loathing, the self-hatred that comes with being told all of this. And I vividly remember once the shame lifted, once all of that lifted, once I left the church, it was like a ton of bricks got lifted off of my shoulders, because I was finally able to see this thing, which I probably knew all along, but I was too afraid to admit to myself. The pornography, that stuff isn't inherently bad. It's the people who are telling me that I was wrong, that I was a dirty person for having these innate human desires. They were wrong. This can be an absolute beautiful desire to have if you use it correctly. Those people who were telling me that I was a terrible person, that's what almost killed me. It wasn't the adult content. That shame that they were teaching me almost killed me, but it didn't. I came out now, I'm a much better person as I can look through my own life now than I think that I was on the other side of it, because I had that shame from watching it while at the same time saying this was evil. So I get why some of these religious people are saying this is bad, because I used to be on that other side of that. But now I'm on the other side of that. I've gotten past it. I can see through the lies that they're teaching and see through the lies that they're being taught. So what's the wrap up here? What I'm saying is, people hurt people. Industries don't hurt people. It's like a tool. It's like a dog that I got running in and out of this room right now. You guys probably heard it. I think they shook the camera a little bit. They're just things. They're people. They're dogs. I love dogs. I love working out in the yard. But if I have a backyard tool laying out there, if I just hit it on the ground to make some flowers and make some room for flowers, it's never going to hurt somebody. But if my neighbor comes along and starts swinging it, then it becomes a tool for him to hurt people. If I train my dog right, if I love the dog, if I care for the dog, that dog's never going to hurt anybody. But if I take the dog, I abuse it, I teach it to hurt people, it's going to hurt people. But you know what I'm getting at? You can enjoy this responsibly and have your desires not control you. And here's what I'll say. If you cannot view a consensual adult scene, and then go to the grocery store and interact with the cute lady behind the deli who's selling you a pound of Swiss cheese without freaking the fuck out, that's your problem. That's not the content's problem. That is your problem. Those are just my thoughts. That's why this hits home for me so much. What do you guys think? Am I too emotionally attached to this? What are your thoughts on the topic? Drop it in the comments below. Like, subscribe, email this to your grandma, all that good jazz. Subscribe so you're always uploaded for more content. And until next time, guys, have fun and stay safe.